Hey guys, I'm back down here doing my research. Ever since I did that video the other day about the 5 firefighters who had their encounter up a dark mountain, I've had a lot of people sending me messages wanting to know if I'd be willing to share some of my personal encounters or if I'd be willing to share some of the encounters that I've been told from other people. So I'm down here doing my research, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you a little story about a police officer here in North Carolina. Him and his wife both had an encounter, not way back up in the forest, not up off the hiking trail, but it happened right here. You see this tree right here, guys? This is where it took place. Him and his wife both, they had their tent set up right here at this tree, okay? On the second night they were down here, he said there was nobody in this park, because that's where I'm at right now. I'm actually in a campground right here. This is a campground, guys. It goes on way back in there a little ways. But this is a campground. This is where I'm at. On the second night, like I said, there was nobody in here. He said about 4:15 in the morning, his dog just started going crazy and just raising all kinds of hell. He unzipped his tent. He grabbed his big flashlight, and he grabbed his shotgun. His wife stayed inside the tent. Him and the dog got out. Said he had the dog on a leash, and said all of a sudden the dog was just about dragging him over in this area right here. Now, I'm gonna walk over here. Said the dog got right about here, okay, right about where I'm standing at. Said it was pulling him on his leash. He said all of a sudden, he said the dog came to a dead stop. He said it was growling and grunting and, like I said, just going off and raising all kinds of hell. And the dog was looking right off in this area right here, okay? Said all of a sudden, the dog just came to a dead quiet, a dead silence, okay? He said he knew right then and there that there was something out there. He said he was thinking maybe a bear, a cougar, or something like that. He wasn't thinking about no Bigfoot. Because he said he didn't believe in Bigfoot at that time, but he became a believer real quick, okay? Said the dog tried to run back towards the tent. He said, but he had a hold of the leash. Said it, so he wasn't gonna let go of the dog. And said that when the dog was trying to run back, he said all of a sudden, in that direction right over there, he said he heard movement, like something walking. Said he took that big flashlight he had, he said, it's a good sized spotlight. So said he took that good sized flashlight and he shined it right off in that direction. Now, what he said he saw was, he described it's probably around 7 foot, 7.5 foot. He said it was kind of brownish red looking, okay? He said it was walking upright like a man. And he said it had a deer thrown over its shoulder. That's right, a deer. He said because when his flashlight hit it, he said his flashlight lit up this entire area. He said it's got a good beam on it. He said he saw the creature. He saw the deer throwed over its shoulder. He said the creature never turned its head and looked at him. He said he saw him walking like from right here, going off in that direction. And guys, when you're down here in January, there's no foliage on the trees, you can see in there a good ways, trust me. This is one of my research areas, so I know exactly what he's talking about. You can see back in there a good ways. The creature went from here, went over that way, and he said he went back off going that direction. Between 7 foot and 7'5", with a deer thrown over his shoulder. He said the creature had brownish, reddish looking fur, okay? Now, that is a police officer who told me that. A police officer right here in North Carolina, okay? I didn't talk to his wife, but I talked to him. He came down here, and he showed me the area where it took place. Like I said, right there is where their tent was at under that tree. He came down here and talked to me in person, and right out in that area, right out in there, is where he saw the creature. Now, hold on. I can hear something moving. I don't know what it is, but I can hear something moving. Hold on. I'm gonna turn my phone around this way. It sounded like what I was hearing was coming from right down in here somewhere. It wasn't a squirrel because it definitely wasn't that. It sounded like something walking. I'm not saying it was a Bigfoot, but it definitely sounded something like walking. But anyway, like I said, that happened back in December 28th. A police officer and his wife had an encounter right here. Right there was their tent. He saw a 7 to 7.5 foot creature with brownish red hair, had a deer thrown over its shoulder, and it was walking right through here, and it went off in that direction right through there. I think that's a pretty cool little encounter. But again, thanks to all my followers. I got 1,000 followers. I thank all y'all for staying with me. I'm glad you enjoy my stories. I'm glad you enjoy the encounters that I talk about. I'm glad that you enjoy my research. And like I said, I've got lots more. I've got lots more to come, so I can still hear something down there. But again, guys, thanks for staying with me after all this time. And you guys stay safe, and let's keep it squatchy. Thanks, guys.